So one could say that I've been a fan of the Poco phones that have come out for a budget phone. I think they're great. I have one here. I don't even know which one it is. And another Poco. This is a Poco, I don't know, something 5G and a Poco something else. And another one. I know one of these is the M6 Pro. But Poco nicely sent us this, which is their new Poco M7 Pro 5G. So I actually have it unboxed because I've done that already because I know how long it takes to get these ready. Anyways, just so you know what comes in it, this is going to be all your cables, stuff like that. But one of the things, of course, that I like, you do get a 45-watt charger. Now, for me, this is European, so hopefully if you are ordering this and you can get a global version, that you may get the option to be able to get it with a North American actual uh, charger. But 45 watt, which from the previous M6 Pro is a big increase, because I think the M6 was only like, I think 18 watts, I believe, and a nice size USB-C cable, which I also very much appreciate. But just so you guys can see what's in here, which again, I like with some of the Android phones, especially the smaller, like the smaller ones, like the cheaper ones. I don't know why the cheaper ones always come out with more stuff. Your SIM card, cool. But of course, you get a case and some extra stuff. So I do love the fact that they give you a case with the cheaper phones. You get an iPhone, what do they give you? Nothing. They give you nothing, is what they give you. So here we go. This is the review of the Poco case. Nice, yes? Yeah. Anyways, and this is the one I got right here. I do have to say I'm a fan of this color. I think this color is lovely. And again, I've been using this for the past a little bit, a couple of days, just kind of going through some benchmarks and kind of just seeing how it feels. And you can't take this necessarily and put it up against, let's say, an iPhone or a flagship Galaxy or something like that. That's just not fair. So any reviewer that does that, I'm like, come on, right? No. Anyways, you can see you got some nice cameras on. I just think this color is kind of nice. I have this little sticker thing on it, which I definitely don't want. So I'm gonna peel that off, right? That's just getting stuck over there on the desk. Yes, look at that. And it's got this cool little weird design thing going on there. I do like that. They didn't go crazy with the big Poco on here, which I also like. Very nice. You can see there's your buttons on the side. Again, they are color matched. Very cool. And you're gonna have your USB port, your SIM card slot, and a speaker on top, on bottom. Oh, and what is this? Yeah, you'd be correct. Headphone jack. Yeah. And of course, you get a nice little case. Now, what would be cool is if they give you a case that was like color matched. You know, that would be cool. Gray, it's nice, but color matched. Anyways, let's talk about this phone. So when you think of the M7 Pro series from Poco, really what you're thinking about without question is value. For a phone that, this phone comes in somewhere around, I think it's under 250 US dollars. You actually get some pretty good hardware, $250. My iPhone cost me Canadian wise like $1,500. 250 US dollars for this. So if you look at the actual hardware specs, you're getting a Dimensity 7025 Ultra chip with a 5G support. There's that 5G. You get a 6.67 inch, they call it a Flow AMOLED display with up to, you get that 120 hertz refresh rate. Again, a sub 250 US dollar phone. You get a 50 megapixel Sony camera. And the camera on here, there's two cameras on here. So you get the 50 megapixel camera, which has both optical image stabilization, as well as it does utilize electronic image stabilization. And then as you can see, there is two cameras. The second one is almost like a depth camera, right? So it's used to help with focus and help with trying to get that depth information for being able to give you those, out of focus shots for the background. 2 megapixels, I believe it is. So you don't get a lot of like reach or an ultra wide or anything like that. So just kind of be aware. It does have, I believe, inside it, we may get to it, I believe it has like a 2 times. So because it has that 50 megapixel sensor, you have like an electronic 2 times zoom that you can use. Cool, sure. It has a nice 5,110 milliamp battery. And as we saw inside the box, 45-watt charging. So this should be able to charge pretty much from 0 up to 100%, probably in about an hour, hour and a half. And like I had said when I showed it to you at the beginning, it's all wrapped up in this very nice looking phone. And it does have, they say, an IP64 dust and water resistance. So dust, IP6, a little lower for water resistance. So I wouldn't go submerging this, if you know what I mean. So basically, this phone is targeted for, I want to say, like young people, or on the flip side, it's targeted for maybe someone older, right? Someone that just wants a new phone that is not going to be into like high-end gaming and doing all that kind of things, right? So if you're going to be looking for someone who wants really good performance, you are able to use this for gaming for sure. Would I use it necessarily for things like content creation? I don't know if I'd use it. You could, if you're a budget content creator, this is your first phone. You know what? You light everything right. Your camera, you can do amazing things with worse phone cameras for sure. But great for media consumption, great for using it as a GPS in the car, great for doing your maps, great for reading your emails, great for all that kind of stuff. So again, if you're not into high-end gaming or high-end content creation, this thing's gonna be good. And guess what? You don't have to do. You don't have to pay $1,000 or more for your phone, which is a huge benefit. So the Dimensity 7025 Ultra is built on a 6 nanometer process, and it scored about 477,000 in Antutu, so that benchmark, which is actually, not too bad again, considering the price point of this phone. So if you were using this again for daily use, so just, normal day-to-day things, playing, your standard little puzzle games and things like that, it's going to be really good. No questions, right? And even some demanding games out there should actually be able to run fairly good if you can bring some of the settings down. The M7 Pro also comes in two kind of variations. You can either get an 8 gig version or a 12 gig version. The one I actually have is a 12 gig version for RAM. And it will come with 256 gigs of storage, which is great. I had to pay, sometimes more to get more storage on my phone. Plus, with Poco's a memory extension, they have this memory extension 3.0. The 12 gig model can virtually expand up to 24 gigs of RAM. So they can actually, my guess would be, use some of the actual hard drive as RAM. So that's pretty cool. So again, when you look at the price, but you have to look at the price point for this, right? $250. Performance wise, I'd say, not too bad. So again, now let's look at this here camera. Oh, there's two cameras, but you are getting that 50 megapixel Sony main sensor with both, again, optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. And you get the 2 megapixel, that's right, 2 megapixel depth sensor that gets used in conjunction with the portrait mode. Now, what is actually great about this is it has a pretty wide or fast f1.5 aperture, which actually going to give you, larger pixels for better low light shots. It also supports, like I said before, that 2 times in sensor zoom. So this is going to help for creating or giving you at least a little bit of reach, which you would normally get from having a telephoto. You're going to get this via this zoom feature. So this 2 times in sensor zoom is going to give you, sharper detail compared to a traditional digital zoom. Now, it also has, in regards to the camera, things like AI bokeh, AI sky, AI erase features, and you even get a raw domain ultra sense night mode. That's what they say in my notes. So this is going to give you nice clear shots. Now, again, is it going to perform to the same level as the flagship? Probably not, but it's sure going to help. In regards to video, you are going to, again, get that optical image stabilization along with the electronic that will help you keep your footage. Again, is it going to compete with, let's say, a modern day flagship? No, but it's going to help with keeping that image a lot more steady to help you get smoother shots. Now, it only does record in 1080. So just realize, if you're looking for a 4K phone to shoot video, this isn't it, right? Now, on the front, of course, this is a 20 megapixel selfie cam, which again supports what they call an AI wide angle and actually shoots crisp, vibrant images. Again, that's going to be great for, let's say, your vlogging or social media posts. Would I use it for any kind of professional work? No, definitely not. But again, if this is going to be, let's say for me, maybe a secondary phone or something that I would give to someone younger or older, they're going to think it's fantastic. Now let's look at the actual display. Um, this is it here, right? I'm going to see if I can crank my brightness up a little bit. It's actually quite bright. Yep. So this display has to be, I would say, one of the best out there, again, in this category. So it's a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED with up to 2100 nits of brightness. So actually really bright, should have no issues being able to see this in a bright day. Again, it has that 120 hertz refresh rate. Plus, it has a 2160 hertz touch sampling. So if you are actually using this for gaming, that responsiveness between when you touch and move is going to be nice and smooth. So I think that's going to be really good. Now, they also have some certifications, which I can't pronounce, for low blue light, which is good, and flicker-free friendly usage. So who doesn't like flicker-free and blue light, right? Did I say flicker-free? Flicker-free. And colors, right? I love this. So that you can get it in either the purple, which is what I have. You can get it in silver, or you can get it in green. So each of these has a pretty cool look. And of course, depending on your color needs, can suit or fit your fashion decision choice, whatever you feel. It also weighs in about 190 grams, and it's just under 8 millimeters thick. So actually not too bad. If you are using this for content consumption, speaker-wise, you actually got Dolby Atmos dual speakers. So of course you're going to have the one on the top and the one on the bottom here. And you actually get this cool feature where it can do what they call a 300% volume boost. So even if you're in loud environments, this should be able to make your media sound really good. Now, of course, if you're in a loud environment, I would say wear earbuds because nobody else wants to hear your stuff, just so you know. Battery-wise, again, we have a 5,110 milliamp battery, which should have no problems, at least from the few days that I've been using this, no problems lasting the full day. 45-watt charging, which will take it, they say in 30 minutes, you can go from 0 to about 62%. So not bad. You'd get almost a full charge in just over an hour. So not too bad. It does feature an intelligent battery management. So it will adapt to your charging habits and help you to be able to maintain the health of the battery over time. This, of course, is also running on the Xiaomi Hyper OS system. So I actually am very fond of it. It runs really smooth. It's gives you some really nice features. Some of the features that I really like is it does have, as you can see it, right, the in-screen fingerprint scanner, which is excellent. For some reason, there we go. That works really good. It has a face unlock. Now, it's not like an iPhone face unlock, so it's definitely not as secure as, let's say, the fingerprint scanner, but it does have it. And it even has an IR blaster. So if you want to use this as a remote control, you can do that as well. Like, just think of all the features we're doing here. My iPhone doesn't have a whole bunch of those. No, sir. But it's not all gravy, right? Not all gravy. So there are some downfalls, of course. Again, if you're looking at, let's say, the camera, again, no ultra wide, big one, no like really huge telephoto, like optical telephoto, and of course, no macros. So if you are someone that wants to take macro photos, you're not going to be able to get that. There's also no wireless charging on this for someone who likes wireless charging. Frame-wise, it's plastic, but I have to say it's a nice heavy plastic, and in the hands, it feels great. But again, at the price point, are you going to get a full metal frame? I don't think so. But it is plastic, so just be aware of it. And I would say the kind of other thing here is this is running on Wi-Fi 5, not Wi-Fi 6. So if you are someone, again, that uses Wi-Fi 6, or if that's important to you, just realize you're not getting it. Now, as I had talked about before, I currently also have the M6 Pro. So if you are someone that actually has the M6, you may be thinking, does it have enough upgraded features to maybe warrant that upgrade? Well, there are definitely some for sure. Again, on the original M6, it was an IPS screen, so you are getting that AMOLED screen on here, so that's going to be big. The M6, I believe, was 550 nits, again, compared to the 2100 nits, so way brighter, so that's going to be huge. And in regards to the camera, you do get optical image stabilized Sony sensor, so that's going to be nice. Now it's less megapixels, 50 versus 64, but I'll take optical image stabilized over a bit higher megapixels any day of the week. The Dimensity 7025 is faster than the chip that was in the M6 because that was a Snapdragon 4 Gen 2 that was in the M6 Pro, so this is quicker. And this lovely front-facing camera, the selfie camera, has gone from 8 megapixels all the way up to 20. So again, that's good. And again, as I said, with the charging, go from 18 watts of the M6 up to 45 of the M7. So, you know what? If you have an M6 Pro, it may not be a bad time to look at the M7 Pro for sure. So is the Poco M7 Pro 5G worth it? You know what? At that $250 price point, I'm going to say yes. If you're looking for a budget 5G phone that nails the basics, it delivers strong performance, has a fantastic display, has I want to say a nice camera for the price, and it's really ideal for students, young professionals, someone who's young, someone who loves, tech, doesn't have that budget for the flagship, or someone that's just maybe a little older. But if you are someone that really craves performance, you are going to be using this for higher end mobile games, you want a really good camera, you want really good photos and video, then you'd want to look at more of a flagship phone to get those kind of features. But of course, you're going to pay for it. Anyways, that's my kind of take on the Poco M7 Pro 5G. I think, again, it's a nice little win from Poco if you're looking at a budget smartphone, which a lot of people are. Anyways, I'll leave links down to Poco so that you can check out this phone and some of the other ones that Poco actually makes. And that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and I will see you lovely folks next video. Poco M7 Pro 5G. Pretty sweet.